Rich Goldberg joins us now. Rich is senior advisor at the Foundation for Defensive Democracy. So, all right, let's talk about this. So we have the information on two phones. By the way, the other thing that they said just after we, from the news conference is that apparently the guy, Livelsberger, had told someone he was in a relationship with that he was struggling after coming back from Afghanistan. Remember, he's still on active duty, so take that for what it's worth. But the information on the phones in the Notes app, now we could be speaking to motive here. He also talked about cleansing his mind for the brothers that he lost. You got to wake up. We have weak leadership. So we wondered about motive. Maybe now we're starting to get something, right?
And you also heard at the beginning, the outset of the press conference, he spoke to a podcast. And so you can see that online. There are things swirling of supposed manifestos sent to some podcast hosts who are big in the military circles. That still needs to be authenticated and confirmed by law enforcement, obviously. But if you look at that, you look at what is already available and what they showed on the screen there and confirmed from that Notes app, you definitely have somebody who perhaps had a mental break. There's been reports of a breakup with his wife in recent days before the attack. He was stationed overseas, came back on leave, and clearly either through his own personal grievances, conspiracy theories, or whatnot, appears to have targeted the Trump Hotel and used Elon Musk's Cybertruck to get attention for those grievances.
Yeah, it's all really strange because it was one of his relatives early in the week had been reported that said he was a kind of a supporter or a fan of the president-elect. And then he goes to the hotel with Trump's name on it and blows up this Cybertruck, that's obviously owned by a company that Elon Musk operates. It's trying to piece all of this together. What we don't see, though, is anything similar to New Orleans, where, the ISIS-inspired kind of jihadist attack or mindset. We don't see any of that.
Correct. And I know there had been some suspicions of some connections. Both prior military service had apparently both gone through Fort Bragg at certain points, though no evidence that they knew each other or coordinated in any way. It doesn't sound like from this press conference there is any connection. And to your point, the indicators right now of the kind of attack, the kind of criminal behavior, the motives behind this attack in Las Vegas, very different than somebody who is being radicalized with Islamic radical ideologies. We need to know more about what happened in New Orleans, where Jabbar was going to mosque, where he was going online, who radicalized him, how did he radicalize, and where. Those are going to be very important data points that we don't have information on yet. And I'll note a similar event happened not at this scale. It did not get noticed. We had a radicalized individual attack a Jew on his way to synagogue in Chicago just a couple months ago. We never learned more information about that event, about the attacker, where he radicalized and how. And so it's important for us to understand, is there something that is happening on a larger scale in the United States that we need to get a handle on?
Do you think there is? I mean, that's been the question after Jabbar in New Orleans, or, whether or not every now and again, even in this day and age, we see stuff like this. Many times, by the way, it's been thwarted over the years by the authorities before someone carries out something maybe that they wanted to do, or maybe it's coming back like, in the post 9/11 era. I mean, do you have any read on it?
And my fear is that the system has been flashing red for several months now. We have had the FBI director testifying to Congress multiple times that the threat stream is very high, the highest he has seen in years, especially after the October 7th attack and the radicalization that has ensued among Islamist radicals. You also have the rise of ISIS-K in Afghanistan after our withdrawal. You have an open border, and we have plenty of records now of ISIS-linked individuals coming into the country. Mm-hmm. So if you put all that together, that's a trifecta of problems.
What do you mean by linked, by the way? I'm just curious about that, because that's what we've been talking about. Is it directed or inspired by? So when you use the term linked, what are you seeing?
Well, the individuals that we know ICE had picked back up that were allowed into the country, I believe, were Tajik individuals that were described as ISIS-linked migrants that had come in illegally. We've seen others from countries of concern that certainly have terror problems come into the country as well. In this case, we've so far seen the terms ISIS-inspired.
Right.
That could be somebody who goes online, watches videos, has a favorite imam that he's watching, reads materials. Or it could be something in his social network. It could be something at mosque. And it could be something that is a combination of all those three.
All right, Rich, thank you.